Hello, my name's Michael Conneely, and this video is all about the powerful eclipse of the 8th of November 2022. But before I go into the detail of the eclipse that it's so useful to know, just two introductory points. So the first is that I've had long COVID since the end of June, and that's why I've not been well enough to do any blogs or videos. I kept feeling ill and having crashes, only able to work 25% capacity at most. However, I've resumed normal work since November the 1st. And the other second introductory point is to welcome you to my new LoveStarDating website. It's a worldwide website for those on a spiritual pathway who are seeking love. So pleased to welcome you. And in fact, LoveStarDating has a special additional unique feature because attached to it are 8 astrologers and healers offering you support and healing and insight if that is of assistance. Remember that learning about our love scripts and healing them is so important. It can even be central to fulfilling our destiny in this life. And healing the relationship pattern of ourselves as a couple can unlock such a loving relationship path forward. There are many routes to possible insight and healing about our relationship life scripts and our couple scripts. And that's why I've added the several astrologers and healers attached to this wonderful new site, a worldwide site. So if you're looking for love and you're on a spiritual pathway, go to LoveStarDating. Okay, now let me turn to the main topic of this video, which is the eclipse of the 8th of November. Now this eclipse has the moon at 21 degrees Vedic Aries, closely flanked by powerful destabilizing Uranus and Rahu, the North Node. And this eclipse moon is in Bharani Nakshatra. Now Bharani Nakshatra is ruled by Yama, the god of death. And so the energy of an eclipse in Bharani is that we must die to our unwanted old self now, if that's what is being called out to us to do. What in your life calls out to be discarded, to die now? What facets of your life should die now, must die now, will die now? Bharani's energy does include, actually, dimensions of cruelty, destruction, catastrophe and nemesis. So that too is in the energy of this eclipse. So this eclipse is really florid, powerful and commanding. So I feel the call now, as I said in my post on Saturn turns direct in the heavens, filmed also at this time, I feel the central call now is for each of us to find our hidden jewel, our true self, discarding the past and expressing our hidden jewel more and more fully going forward now. Align to that, transform, make the needed change. And going forward from this eclipse, crystallize the fulfillment of the expression of the true you now. And remember that with Saturn transiting square Uranus, in other words, Saturn T-square this eclipse, we're actually crystallizing oppositional energies, opposing energies. So we've got in a way to be like a blacksmith, forging and creating our needed best new life forward. And with Saturn square Uranus and Rahu, we must also foster inner calm, focus and excellence, serenity and clarity, and bring our emotions into balance. Now, this is actually the first of 2 videos about the eclipse of the 8th of November. You might like to see the second one, which is a guided meditation to help take you to the deep heart of this momentous eclipse's offering. So we've looked at the sun, we've looked at the moon, which is conjunct Uranus and Rahu, the North Node, and we've looked at Saturn, which is square that. But let's now look at the sun of this eclipse. The sun is at 21 degrees Vedic Libra, obviously opposite the moon, closely flanked by Venus, Mercury, Ketu, the South Node. Now Ketu, transiting Libra as it is for 18 months, and Libra being the sign of relationship, can bring each of us such awareness, such healing in our relationship, but not necessarily in an easy way. The other thing to realise with Sun of this eclipse in Libra is that the Sun is in his debilitation in Libra. So you have to deal with any feelings of weakness and self-doubt. And of course, with weak Sun and Ketu transiting Libra, we all have to be especially careful with our relationships of all kinds in the months before and after this eclipse. Treasure them unless we need to let that particular one go. Treasure them. Don't waste them or destroy them. Be careful of your relationships. So this eclipse means a huge time of change for people with major planets in the Aries-Libra axis, and indeed in the Cancer-Capricorn axis. But there's more to it than that. Importantly, as I said, Saturn is T-square this eclipse. It's square the Sun and square the Moon. Saturn is at 24 Capricorn. So this eclipse can create huge explosive impact and opening for your needed Saturn path forward. What is your Saturn path forward? Remember, the guiding deity of Saturn, Lord Shani, insists that we properly express our incarnational life path, our destiny, and we do it thoroughly, dotting the I's and crossing the T's. So this is the time to solve your fixed dilemma now and chart your true destiny path forward. Importantly, also, Lilith is transiting opposite Pluto now, with Lilith at 2 Vedic Cancer, Pluto at 2 Vedic Capricorn. So all the power that has been stuffed down and repressed into your shadow, and all the fruits that could be gained from the proper liberation and expression of that power, can be perceived more and more and unlocked more and more at this time. And indeed, Lilith is about our wild persona, and we need to sort of know what that is and express it properly to be the fullness of you and me in this life, and to go forward on your proper path in the proper way, in the true way. So that is yet another benefit of this eclipse of the 8th of November. A thing to remember is that both Venus and Mercury are combust. They're so close to the sun, they're burned now. So each of us might need to make a special effort to keep love alive in our relationship. With Venus combust, passions could ride high and destructively. And with Mercury combust, our communications could continue to be really messed up. It's also actually very useful to know that Rahu, North Node, and Uranus conjunct the Moon is a florid and paranoid, mentally destabilizing energy that can lead us lying awake at night in the small hours, going through our fears, can make us make the wrong actions and speech because of our fears. But in fact, the destabilizing energy ought to be properly, positively used to bring in needed change, to create the less fearful you, the less fearful me, the less fearful life path ahead. And by the way, I don't think astrology should be used for sort of political ranting at all, but it is significant that November the 8th, the day of this eclipse, is the day of the mid-term elections in the United States. But behind all the drama and huge opportunity I've just described to you, there's a very positive side. Jupiter is slowing down to station and to go direct on November the 23rd. So more and more, this is a good time to open ourselves to Jupiter's blessing, enlargement, big picture, and inspiration. Oh, just remember that eclipses are usually felt growing inside us for a month or two before. And certainly their earthquake effect runs on for at least 3 months after the date they occur. And of course it's still there as a patch of stagnant energy in the heavens when planets transit over that degree, even a couple of years after the date of the eclipse. And so the eclipse is then going to be reactivated. So do get a reading from me about how in detail the huge energy of this powerful eclipse, which actually offers so much if we can manage it. Get a reading from me about how the energy of this eclipse could manifest in your life ahead for the year or the relationship that you're in. So what you do is you go to my Star Wheel Astrology website, the Star Wheel Astrology website, to book for a reading. And you might like to go on to the part 2 video, which is the guided meditation to open ourselves to the power of this eclipse, this difficult eclipse, and blossom and bloom and go forward. Thank you.